In this lesson, we're going to work with the properties of exponents that we've also worked with in Algebra 2. At this level of our math course, you should have these properties memorized by the end of this lesson and your assignment. So our first exponent rule is called the negative exponent rule. Let's say you have a 5 to the negative 3 power. What you can do is you can change that to a fraction, so 1 over 5 cubed, and then simplify it. So it'll be 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. If you have a exponential in the denominator, like 4 to the negative 2, what happens is it flips up to the numerator and turns positive as 4 squared, and then 4 squared is 16. The next rule is called the zero exponent rule, where we say anything raised to the 0 power is 1. So 7 to the 0 power is 1. Negative 5, notice that parentheses is raised to the 0 power is 1. Be careful on this third example. Because of PEMDAS, you're going to do the 5 to the 0 power first, which is 1, and then go back and multiply it to a negative. So be careful on that third example. The next property is called the product rule property. So if you have like bases, and they are multiplied together, what you do is you add those exponents. So here's a couple examples. So 2 squared times 2 cubed, what happens is those are like bases, they're both base 2, so you add those exponents to give you 5, and then go ahead and simplify it. 2 to the 5th power is 32. Next example here, you're going to go ahead and add those exponents together, and then simplify. The next property is called the power rule. You're raising that power to a power, so you need to multiply the exponents together. So here's our first example. 2 squared cubed. You're going to be multiplying the 2 and the 3 together to give you 2 to the 6th, and then simplify it, 64. The second example, again, you're going to multiply it to give you negative 12. Now, going back, that is a negative power. So you like this rule. So you're going to have to flip it. So don't ever leave an answer with a negative exponent. So final answer is going to flip down to the denominator is 1 over x to the 12th. All right, next rule is called the quotient rule. So you have like bases. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and subtract those exponents. So first example, 2 to the 8th divided by 2 to the 4th. You're going to subtract those exponents and then simplify it to give you 16. Second example, x cubed divided by x to the 7th. Subtract them, you're going to get negative 4. Then you're going to have to use your negative power rule. That's a negative, it's going to be 1 over x to the 4th. Products raised to powers. I think of these as like your distributive properties. You're going to distribute that n to both terms. So here's an example. Negative 2y to the 4th, you're going to distribute it to the negative 2 and the y, and then simplify it. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 16. Heading down to the next one, quotients raised to the powers. Again, I think of this as a distributive property. You can distribute that n to both exponents. So here's an example. 2/5. You can distribute it to the 2 and the 5. So it's 2 to the 4th divided by 5 to the 4th, and then simplify it.